And we are back with Talk of the Town with Julie Kuhns. She's the Director of Operations with Osprey Village. Julie, This is the first time we've chatted.
It is. It's nice to meet you.
So thank you for being with us. Let's dive right into an update on the neighborhood that is going to the Osprey Village neighborhood that'll be in Hardyville, correct?
Correct. So full steam ahead for us. We've conducted all of our initial surveying activities, and we're looking towards the funding as well as the permitting so that we can begin breaking ground. Our anticipation is hopefully, cross our fingers, housing our first residents within the next 18 months. So
we talked earlier about the neighborhood. It'll have commercial, it'll have single homes, it'll have apartments. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, what we're doing is looking to design what would be considered a typical neighborhood development for the Lowcountry, which does include different styles of housing as well as commercial development. But we want to do so in what I like to call a sensory-sensitive manner, which includes persons with developmental disabilities and what they need to be supported in their independence. So we will have commercial development, which is a great job opportunity for our individuals who can't drive to work as easily. So it gives them access. We are hoping to do something more along the lines of duplexes and townhomes, as well as single-family homes in the future. And we're also looking at potentially doing condos for purchase as well.
But it's open really to anyone.
It is. We have a specific focus for developmental disabilities because their affordable housing needs are much, much greater than everybody else's. But it's affordable housing. So people who qualify for and need affordable housing, we most definitely encourage them to look into it as well.
So we'll be excited to get an update next time you're on with that.
Yes, for sure.
One of the things you wanted to talk about today is April is Alcohol Awareness Month, and how alcoholism and overuse of alcohol can affect people, newborn babies, and creating developmental disabilities. Would you talk a little bit about that,
Absolutely.
Julie?
So first and foremost, April is also Autism Awareness. On April 2nd, we have Autism Awareness Day. Osprey Village has traditionally been very focused in April on autism because it is a month that we obviously use for that. But because it is Alcohol Awareness Month, we would be remiss if we did not talk about fetal alcohol syndrome. It is the second most prevalent developmental disability that we have. It's 2.5 times more likely than autism to occur. And that is what is known. Alcoholism being a very private disease, we believe there's a potential for underreporting on the diagnosis of fetal alcohol syndrome.
I guess the individuals that you all work with, how would you even know that they perhaps were a baby that had fetal alcohol syndrome? I mean, how do you...
The doctor, obviously doctors would create those diagnoses, and psychiatrists as well as experts in developmental disability. So we get the information ahead of time if they've been diagnosed. There's a whole host of persons with developmental disabilities that have what is considered unspecified developmental disability because they don't know where to place them. They know there's learning disabilities. They know that there's cognitive disability there, enough so that they qualify as a developmental disability, but they don't have a diagnosis specifically.
Right.
So...
We talked earlier about COVID and how that's affected your services and the information that you're sharing with the community about the coronavirus and your clients. So how has it affected you all?
You'd actually asked the question, did COVID kind of take over and that dominated the conversation? And yes and no. For us, what it did is we found our community, and we want to thank our community for this, becoming very sensitive to how a virus like this will affect the developmentally disabled. Because not only are they quarantined for a much longer period of time until they can get vaccinated, which the isolation is very, very detrimental to them. They lose a lot of their services when they're in quarantine. But the other side of it is many of them are immunocompromised. So navigating tricky waters of a virus for them is a lot harder, a lot more intense than it would be for somebody who doesn't have immune compromisation.
I shared with you that I had gone to Osprey Village Thrift Shop for the first time last week, and so bought several things. I was very impressed with the organization. And so how does the funds help what you do in the programs that you provide?
Well, our 2 thrift shops, the one on Hilton Head Island as well as the one in Okatie, are vital to sustaining the entire project without having an executive team. And those are salaried positions. We can't move forward with building. So we have, in particular, 4 full-time dedicated individuals, and that's where we are funded. That's how we get paid. I'm glad that you had an opportunity to go to that thrift shop. I always make a joke, it's like the Walmart of thrift shops because it's huge.
It is.
It's beautiful. They have a lot of items in there. So,
Well, thank you, Julie. Our time is up, unfortunately. We'll have you back for sure. Thank you for being with us today and giving us an update on the neighborhood, Osprey Village. And we will be right back with Talk of the Town, so stay with us.